Hello everyone, this is Richard with Richard Runs Trails. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. This is an exciting vlog. The title of the vlog is Ultra for Ukraine. It's a fundraiser, and I will also be going over my Lovit 100, opening up some new products, and talking about a few other things. But I wanted to start off by talking about the fundraiser that I'm doing. I'd like to do something to help Ukraine. I think it's really terrible what's going on over there right now. You know, I can't go over there and fight. I've got a family, so do what I can. So I'm dedicating my next Ultra, which is Brazos Bend 50 miler on April 9th, to raise money for the Ukrainian people. And my charity is Revive Soldiers Ukraine. It's a charity in Florida which raises money for medical supplies and food and stuff, and has been doing it for a long time. I kind of went through a bunch of charities and make sure that it's kind of legit. And this one looks like it's been around for a while. The person running the charity's even got an award from the president of the Ukraine. So it looks like a pretty good outfit. Revive Soldiers Ukraine, and I've set up a GoFundMe account which is linked to their charity, so any donation will go directly to them. So I'm planning to donate $2 for every mile I run, so start off with $100, and if you can donate anything, even a few dollars, it would help. And I will end the fundraiser after the Ultra. So the Ultra is Brazos Bend 50 miler that's in Houston, Texas on April 9th. So we have about a month to raise money. So hopefully we can raise some money for the people of Ukraine. Let's see what we can do. Okay, let's talk about the Lovit 100. I signed up for the Lovit 100 miler, which is in Lake Ouachita, Arkansas, near Hot Springs. It's in town, Mount Ida is where the race starts. It's a very big lake, one of the biggest lakes in Arkansas. It was going to start on Friday night, 5 p.m. So I left on Thursday, and the roads were terrible. It was all ice, and probably shouldn't have been driving on them. But I was by myself, I wasn't with my family, so I just took it easy. I have a front wheel drive car, but it should have taken me 7.5 hours to drive there, but it took me 12.5 hours. So I was driving about 40 miles an hour all the way to Arkansas. It was frustrating, but I got there, and once I got to the Arkansas border, it was a little bit better because it's warmer. You know, I got up to about 34, 35 degrees, so the roads got a little bit better. I had a good night's rest, got up about 6 a.m. and hung out the day with my brother, his wife. I knew it would be challenging because I've done night races before. I've done 100Ks, I've never done a 100 miler, but you know, at the start of the race, I'd already been up about 10 hours. It was very cold. I had a vest that I was debating to wear with long sleeve Heinz shirt or wear my Gore-Tex coat. And I decided to go with my Heinz shirt and my Gore-Tex coat with a very thin shirt. You know, people say layering is the best way to go. I was very cold at the start, almost shaking. You know, I thought I was set up well for it. Had a little bit of problems with my hiking poles because I extended them at the beginning of the race. I was just going to carry them, but one of the balls wouldn't come out. My brother worked on it and put some lube in there and stuff, and it came out. But you know, these are nice hiking poles, and one of them wouldn't extend and stay locked. Finally got that fixed. Started the race, and it wasn't a half a mile. I had to stop. I was too hot. It was very frustrating. So I took off my hydration pack and jacket, took off one layer of shirt, which actually only had 2 layers under my coat. So I only had my Heinz shirt, which is good down to 30s, and my light Gore-Tex coat. I put my shirt in my backpack. You know, it's frustrating because I lost a few minutes. You know, the whole pack of runners went way ahead of me. I got going again. That happened at about half a mile in the race. It's kind of bad planning on my part. I got going again. It was a very big climb up the mountain in the first few miles, and a few water crossings. During this race, I think there was about 50 water crossings. I'm not kidding. They were real small. Some of them were real small, but at night they could be pretty tricky. Because keep in mind, the whole race was under freezing. You know, high 20s, low 30s the whole race. And I got going, so ran through the night, mostly ran with my brother, and it was kind of uneventful, but it was very cold. And probably 30 miles into the race, I had to change my batteries already in my light. When you have cold weather, the batteries don't last as long. I knew that going into it, but I didn't know it affected that much. But I ended up using 2 sets of batteries during the night. And then, the challenge of that is when you stop to change your batteries, you get very cold. Because as long as I kept moving, I felt okay. And sometimes I had to unzip my coat a little bit. But I had a hydration pack on too, which I think was keeping me a little bit warmer. But I wish I would have gone with my vest and kept my arms more cold. It would have been better balance. So learning from there. Do not wear a long sleeve coat unless it's very cold. I'm talking maybe 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That's my plan next time. We had freezing rain off and on during the night, and the Gore-Tex coat was good for that, but the challenge was I sweat a lot under the coat. So when I stopped, I got very cold. And people say, well, if you layer, you won't have that problem. Well, I did layer and I did have that problem. So I really didn't find a good solution. But when I'd stop at the aid station or change batteries or whatever reason I had to stop, I'd get very cold very fast. As long as I kept moving, I was okay. So I made it through the night, a lot of climbing in the first 30 miles. The first 30 miles is the toughest part of the race. And that's part of the race that the 100Kers don't have to do. So we started at 5 p.m. The 100Kers started the next morning, and they omit that section of the race. So the next morning, we started to see the 100K runners because they were on the course, and we shared that part of the course. There was one part of the course called Charlton, and it was only a 2-mile section, but it was horrendous. You know, we did it after we had run like 35 miles, and it was 2 miles up this ridge and then down. Just trail would, you know, back and forth, and it was daylight then, but it was very steep ridge, and everything was a little bit wet. And in the 100 miles, I had to do that section twice. Well, made it out of that section, and you know, kept going. Felt pretty good, you know, but I had, you know, close to 40 miles on me when I got to the next toughest section. Got down into the Crystal Springs aid station, and that's the aid station before you go into Bear Mountain. And you know, they kind of check you out because Bear Mountain is a very rural part of the course. I mean, if you have a problem there, the Forest Service is going in there with a helicopter to get you out. And it's a 7.5 mile section. So you basically go up, do a very steep climb up into Bear Mountain. Then you go across a ridge for 7 miles, and then you come back down and go into Brady Mountain. And you know, I was told about this before the race, but you know, I'm thinking, okay, you go up this mountain and then you go over a flat ridge all the way across. There was nothing flat about that ridge on the top of the mountain. Imagine a mountain 7 miles wide. That's how big this mountain is. 7 miles is a long ways when you run 40 miles. Well, I'm running with my brother still, climb up into this mountain, and 1 week before, they had a controlled burn on this mountain. So there's a little bit of smoke here and there. And the whole climb up is all black. You can see the trees, but all the brush and stuff is burned away. The ground is black. This is 1 week before, okay? It was very spooky looking. I mean, it's like running across the surface of Mars or something. So running through this forest, very tall trees. You know, we have tree coverage almost the whole race. You know, in Arkansas they have very tall trees. And you know, the whole place is black, you know, climbing for probably about a mile. Then I see this huge plume of smoke. And you know, think I'm hallucinating. It's like the tree is on fire. Well, the burn was like a week ago. Why is the tree still on fire? Get up close to this tree, and it's hollowed out tree laying down, and there's fire inside the tree. It was the weirdest thing. Of course, I've never run through a controlled burn before, but I didn't think a tree would keep burning for 1 week. But it was, I mean, it wasn't a few little flames. The whole inside of the tree was just furiously on fire. You know, it was just weird. You know, keep in mind, I've, you know, run about 45 miles already. No, close to 50 miles already when I saw that. And the whole ridge across this mountain is up and down, rollers, steep rollers the whole way, 7 miles. I mean, I remember one time, you know, been running for a while across the ridge of this mountain, and I looked down at my GPS and I was thinking, well, I know it's 7 miles across. We got to be close to the next aid station already. Surely we've finished 7 miles. I looked down and we've only done 2 miles. It was tough. It was really tough. And we gotten some rain here and there. We're crossing Bear Mountain. We didn't have rain, but so you know, during the race it was freezing rain, and it was constantly falling on my black diamond headlamp. And luckily the IP protection was very good on that, and I didn't have any problem. But the whole time I was wondering if it was going to go out on me. I did have a backup light, but I was able to, you know, keep using my black diamond. Just had to change the batteries quite often. You know, when I was crossing Bear Mountain, you know, I was talking about the controlled burn. You know, it's kind of spooky with the fire and all that. And then the whole time, you know, you're kind of, you know, your mind starts playing games with you. And I'm starting to think to myself, why do they call this Bear Mountain? And I don't know if they really have bears on that mountain or not, but that's the name of the mountain. It's a very rural area. And so it was kind of interesting, but I didn't see any animals the whole race. You know, of course it's kind of cold, you know. Animals in a lot of ways are smarter than humans. When it gets cold, they go jump in a warm area and stay away from you know, to get out of the weather. But I didn't see any animals the whole race. Kind of weird. Didn't see any snakes. Didn't see anything. Of course, it's pretty cold. You know, most of the snakes go on the ground. But it's like there was no life at all. You know, it's such a robust forest. I saw some deer driving into the race, but that was it. But kept going on Bear Mountain, got down into Brady Aid Station. My brother was having some problems with his knee, so he pulled out of the race at that point. I continued on and went on 2 more aid stations, and I quit the race at mile 65, which is important for a couple reasons. If you made it to mile 65, they would give you credit for the 100K. Which is really nice. I mean, most race directors, I don't know any other race directors that would do that. They just know that the race is so difficult that they're gonna give you some credit for it. They told us that at the beginning of the race. But I pushed through and made it to that turnaround point at 65 miles, and then I called it quits. Actually, I was very close to the cutoff time, so I don't think I would have made the 82-mile cutoff because I had to turn around and go back up Bear Mountain and across. It would have been very difficult, and I'm glad I pulled out because it wasn't 1 hour later. There was about 2 hours of freezing rain. And when I got to Avery Aid Station, which is the turnaround point, I had to wait about, I don't know, 20 minutes for someone to pick me up. And I got very cold, almost shaking violently. I was, you know, in hindsight, I was probably getting close to hypothermia. So I need to work out the cold weather gear a little bit better for next year if I plan to go back there, because the weather is always bad at that race. So I knew that going into it, and I had 2 options, but the option that I selected didn't work. Got back to the hotel. My brother had a room, and I got warmed up, and I was fine, and I rested, you know, 4 or 5 hours, and then I started my way home. Very tough race. Just a class act race director. I mean, I got more swag than I got at Javelina 100, you know, and Javelina 100 is a $400 race. This race cost me like $200 some. I mean, I got a jacket, a t-shirt, a cup, personalized bib, and the aid stations were great. I mean, And I think if you finish the 100 miler, you got a personalized jacket on top of that. I mean, it's just unbelievable. There was only 50 people in the race, and you know, they don't charge you that much money. They just do a great job with sponsorships and stuff. And that race has been going on for a long time. Highly recommend the Lovit 100. Some takeaways. I plan to never use hydration vest again. I've been kind of moving away from it in the last year. You know, I'll use bottles the first half of the race, and then hydration vest in the second half of the race is 100 milers. But I think I just carry too much shit, basically. And you know, people like Carl Meltzer, you know, Speed Goat, he was in the race, he won the race and just beat everybody by a couple hours. It was amazing. You know, the guy's 55 years old, same age as me. And I saw him a couple times, and you know, he's just flying. But you know, he just wears a waist belt, you know, like most pros, don't carry very much. But you know, I've got this big vest on, hydration bladder, you know, bars on the side, my phone, knife, you know, spare jacket, carrying all this stuff. I just need to take more risk, and I'm gonna do that. And that's a takeaway. My hydration vests are gonna stay in my closet. Unless I'm in a race that requires one, or it's a point to point, and it's a very hot race, I might use my hydration vest, but going forward, I'm just using bottles. I don't care what the distance of the race is. I know I can do it because when I train, I drink very little water. I mean, if I run less than a 10K, I don't even take water with me. So why do I need this big hydration vest during a race? You know, often I'm skipping aid stations anyways, you know, but I'm carrying this heavy vest with me. So that's one takeaway. The other takeaway is I need to understand the cold weather gear better. I thought I had a good grip on it, but I don't. And the third thing is, this is huge. The guy that got third place, Cody Eubanks from Missouri, chatting with him after the race, guess what? He used one bottle and one pole. And you know, in some previous races, and he finished the race in 22 hours. And he's kind of similar build, I mean, a little bit lighter than me, but similar build. He's not a real tall, skinny guy like Jim Walmsley or Carl Meltzer or anybody. He's just kind of a normal build, like most ultra runners. 22 hours, 7th best time ever on the course. And he just carried one pole and one bottle. And that's very big because I want to use only bottles. But the big thing for me was, in you know, Bandera and many other races, I've used one pole in Texas races. And some people even make fun of me. It's like, where's your other pole, you know? But I think it's really useful in races to use one hiking pole instead of two hiking poles. And I guess I started thinking too much about it. I was thinking, well, maybe I should use two poles. It's a mountain race. But I've had good experience using one pole, you know, keeping your balance on short declines and really hammering uphills. And it's nice because you can carry a bottle. The problem is if you carry two poles, you can't carry a bottle in your hand. It's very difficult. So that's my plan. One pole, one bottle in mountain and hill races, technical races. So when Arkansas Traveler comes up later this year, one pole, one bottle. I may experiment with some waist packs. I've had several from Ultraspire, even the Speed Goat one, I've given them away. I haven't found any waist packs that I like that will hold a bottle, that don't bounce. Even the ones that say they don't bounce, they do bounce. So I may experiment with a waist, trying maybe the Solomon one, try some different things, but worst case, I'm just gonna carry one bottle and one pole. And you know, after seeing Cody do that in the Lovit 100, it's like, man, I was onto something using one pole. And this guy, man, he was flying the whole race. One bottle, one pole, really smart. So I'm not the only one out there doing weird stuff with one pole. He got third place in a very difficult race doing that. So kind of reinforced that I was, you know, doing something that works. So looking forward to doing that. And I might even experiment with other shoes. I've been wearing Ultra for a long time, but I really think my Ultra Olympuses, they work well for me, but I think they're too heavy. I may try, you know, I really like using Hokas during the week. I always wear Mach 4s. I haven't worn Speed Goats because they're kind of too narrow for me. But I might try the Evo again and just try some different socks and stuff, because I would really like to wear Hoka if I could. I just haven't, you know, I need a lighter shoe, and I don't like the lighter ultra shoes, the Temps and the Lone Peaks. I wear them for 10K runs or something like that. I've tried to do 50Ks in Temps and hurt my feet. Excuse me. I really like the ultras, but they're just too heavy. And then if you get in a wet race and they hold in mud and water, they're even more heavy. So I'm gonna try some new things. So I'm also going to increase my hill workouts and also my running miles, take my biking miles down, take my weight down another 15 pounds. Been planning to do that, keep talking about it. That's the hardest thing. I find in working out, that's the hardest part. Weight management's the hardest thing, but it really matters. Your weight does matter in these really long events. So I have a lot of plans, you know, for the racing for the rest of the year. Gonna continue to work out, do burpees, do a lot of strength training, but more heel work, you know, vert as we want to call it, and also more running miles. Take my running miles up again. The last few months have been down too low. The weather's getting better, you know, I like the warmer months. So take my running miles up, biking miles down, and go from there. Hey, now I'd like to talk about some new products that I got, but first I want to talk about one thing I call running treasures. Well, I forgot to show when I was talking about Lovit, I forgot to show my new medal. I didn't take a picture and put it on my Strava. It's really nice because it's so shiny you can't take a picture of it. But really nice medal. Actually, this 100K medal, well, I guarantee this 100K medal is harder to earn than most 100-mile buckles, but it's the size of a 100-mile buckle. It's really nice. They really do a good job. And their 100-mile medal is huge. It's really nice. But I got that during the Lovit 100 last weekend. But when I talk about running treasures, I'm sure you can relate. When you're out on a run, you find all kinds of things. And I find really nice jewelry. This is one of Jesus Christ, you know, it's got some stones and stuff. And really pretty cross I found one time. It's got different stuff, different types of coloring and stuff. I don't know if it has different types of emeralds or anything on there, but really beautiful cross. And so what kind of things you find on the run? I find a lot of tools, a lot of wrenches. Wrenches are the most common one. One time I found 3 wrenches on the same run, which was really interesting. What happens is, I know what happens is they put them in the back of their pickup truck and they fall out onto the road. One time I found I'm not kidding, a bag of money, but it was a bag of checks. It wasn't real money. And the bag was a storage center. And I just went to the closest one and gave it back to them. They were really surprised. But probably someone was carrying it on their bike to the bank and it fell out. I find all kinds of treasures. Even found this really nice knife. This is made by Milwaukee. It's found on the side of the road. Construction worker probably put it in the back of their pickup truck and it fell out. But I've got a lot of nice things that came in over the last week or so. I'll show you. I got my new jump rope. This is a 1-pound jump rope. Really nice one. Nice bearings inside the grip and all that. And got some new slam balls. Show you. I've got all kinds of balls, weighted balls. This is a 10-pound ball. I have a 20-pound ball. And they're a great way to work out. I just use them, you know, different directions, you know, get warmed up before I do weightlifting. You can do a heck of a workout. I really like using balls. But I bought some new sizes. Let's open up this one here. This is going to be my biggest one. My newest slam ball. It's guy's 40 pounds. So you can see here, 40-pound slam ball. Really good workout. And I need to put some more air in that guy. Right here, let's see what we got here. Well, Seth DeMore was doing this on video. If you ever haven't watched Seth DeMore's channel, the running channel, he's really good. He's one of the biggest YouTubers, running YouTubers. This is from Bodyworks. You're like, what is that? Right? Get this guy open. 5-pound jump rope, huge. I've been wanting to get one of these. Iron Wolf's always using one of these. Come highly recommended. It's supposed to be a heck of a workout, so we'll see how that goes. This one's made by Bodyworks. 5-pound jump rope. Even comes with a nice bag. Here. Another slam ball. Love these things. My plan is to eventually have all the way up to like 80 pounds, which I think is the largest one they make. They're nice because you can kind of roll them around, and they don't take as much space as barbells. Here we go. See, 25 pounds. So now I have 10, 20, 25, and 40. You put some air in this guy too. Those are my new slam balls. What else I got? How much other stuff coming in? New wrist straps. I got these for doing burpees and push-ups. All my friends on YouTube that are doing burpees and stuff, they say protect your wrist, because if you do a lot of them, they're gonna get sore and stuff. These are by McDavid. I got them at Sports Academy. Looking forward to using those guys. What we got here? Oh. Trail toes, very good anti-chafing. My brother sent this to me, but I thought it was something else and I didn't open it before the race. But I use squirrel's nut butter. Trail toes I think is really probably the best. It's made in Texas, or company's based in Texas. I like it because it's more of a liquid. But I've also been using the butter, the yellow butter stuff. I forget the correct name. It's what cyclists use. I used that in the last race. That works really well, and that's very inexpensive. You can get a big tube of it for like $15. But Trail Toes is very good. I think it was designed to put on your toes, but I never do that. I usually just put it in anti-chafing areas. I never put anything on my feet. And good stuff. And then the last thing I've got here, a company called JackFit. They contacted me and they want me to test their products. So I didn't pay for this, they sent it to me. It's about a $70 unit. But it's kind of like Zwift, but you use like an aerobic step in front of your TV, and you put this on your body, and it's I guess counting steps and movement and sending it to your phone. Your phone is transmitting to your TV, and you can get points, and you see yourself on the TV, you compete against other people. But I'll be doing a video on this, but I think this is pretty cool. There's a lot of companies coming out with stuff that are kind of like Zwift, you know, for bicycles and running. This one's called JackFit. So I'll be testing it out. So stay tuned for that video. But that's it. That's it for this week. I wish everyone a great week, and please check out my links for my GoFundMe account for the Ultra for Ukraine, and I'll also put a link to the Revived Soldiers charity. So if you want to see where the money's going, they have a nice website. And wish everyone the best. And so have a good week. Enjoy your training.